Leader of his party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, we rely on the diversity of plants and animals in our soils, on land, in the ocean, and in the air to make New Brunswick habitable. But more than 1,000 species in our province are imperiled or vulnerable. One of the drivers of this biodiversity loss, Mr. Speaker, is the overuse of pesticides. At the Biodiversity Summit in Montreal, the nations of the world are trying to reach an agreement on a target to reduce pesticide use. Mr. Speaker, the last time the New Brunswick government undertook an initiative to reduce pesticide use was in 2009 for cosmetic pesticides, and it was successful. That was also the year that New Brunswick issued its first and last biodiversity conservation strategy, which remains unimplemented, on the shelf. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of the Environment is responsible for pesticide use and administers the Pesticide Control Act here in New Brunswick. Does he have any plans to pursue the reduction of pesticide use in forestry, agriculture, or aquaculture? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister of Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the question across the way. As a member would know, during our standing committee last week, we heard from all kinds of what we've heard, documents, presentations. That's presently back with our Secretariat with the Climate Change the Environment, looking at ways to make some possible changes moving forward. I can't speak on those exact changes today, but there is plans are in the works. Changes are coming in some areas. I know the water course too. They looked at different ways of addressing some of the areas being sprayed and the amount and so on. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Fredericton-South and Leader of the Party.
Mr. Speaker, one of the key drivers of biodiversity loss in our rivers and bays along our coasts is nutrient pollution. Overloading of phosphorus in fresh water and nitrogen in salt water triggers massive algal blooms which suck the oxygen out of the water as they die off. 20 years ago, the Conservation Council's research revealed the bays and estuaries in Tracadie, Coquin, Broctouche, and Shediac were suffering from nutrient pollution. The research also revealed that hundreds of natural oyster beds had been buried under many meters of sediment from decomposed algal blooms. A target to reduce nitrogen and phosphorus pollution is also being negotiated in Montreal at the Biodiversity Summit as we speak. Does the minister responsible for pollution control have any plans to prevent nitrogen and phosphorus pollution from entering our rivers and coastal waters?
The Minister of Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker, for the question across the way. We are not involved with the summit this year in Montreal. I will take that under advisement, look more into it with the ecosystem and what he mentioned with the oyster beds and things. We know there's changes coming with climate change, changes coming with the environment in the water, coastal water, and the fisheries, and we will take that under advisement and get back to you when we can. Thank you.